Broadcasting live from the Georgia World Congress Center. For Fintech South 2022, it's time for Atlanta Business Radio. Brought to you by Atlanta Blockchain Center. Now, here's your host.
Lee Kantor here, broadcasting live at Fintech South once again. It's been a minute since we've been back here, but I'm excited to see all the folks again. Right now, we have Ted Westhelle with Mambu. Welcome, Ted.
Thank you, Lee. Thanks for having me on a short notice. Appreciate it.
Sure. Tell us a little bit about Mambu. How are you serving folks?
Yeah, absolutely. So at Mambu, first and foremost, we really think that there's a problem out there with a lot of technology, right? And this applies not only to financial services industry, but to many different industries, right? And most technology out there, while it's really necessary, it doesn't really allow the companies to be agile, to change, to add new products, to move into new markets quickly, right? And so Mambu really addresses that big problem with its existing technology out there by putting a lot of control back in the hands of the business owners, letting them manage the technology. And Mambu specifically lets them offer deposit and lending products.
So what's the pain that your prospects are having where Mambu is the right answer?
A couple things.
Symptoms. We just need some symptoms.
Yeah. So one of the big pains is, whether you're a fintech or, a regulated bank, you typically will get locked into an end-to-end core product, maybe a 5, 10, even maybe 15-year contract, right? And they really become dependent on that core provider, right? And it makes it difficult for them, like I said, to maybe add a new product. That may be a 9-month process where they have to pay an additional $100,000.
Right, so because they bought this thing because they thought that was going to solve all their problems.
Right. And it does sort of initially, right? Because the way that those end-to-end solutions, they get customized for the specific needs of the company at that time.
Right.
But every company is constantly evolving and changing, right? And so it doesn't allow them to quickly evolve over time.
So it doesn't allow them to be as nimble as they need to be as things shift.
Exactly. And to that point, with a solution like Mambu, every single customer actually has their own dashboard into a Mambu product factory. It's a zero-code environment where in the space of minutes, they can whip up a new product that they want to offer during the next few weeks.
And then it's in the market at that point? Like it's off and running? Or now it's going to go through its testing and all the stuff that it has to do?
Right, exactly. I mean, theoretically, yes, if you were super risk-averse, you could offer it the next day. Typically, what our customers will do, they will test it in a sandbox environment, make sure everything is...
But it can be implemented as quickly as they want it to be.
In a few weeks, absolutely.
Right, as opposed to,
As opposed to waiting 9 months, right? And so if you think about that from the point of view of being able to react to new demands you're seeing from your existing customer base, being able to take advantage of opportunities you see in the marketplace, it's huge. Yeah,
so what's the backstory? How did this kind of get invented and started?
Yeah. It's actually a really great story. Our co-founders were at a Carnegie Mellon getting their grad degree in computer engineering. They then started off Mambu. It's headquartered initially was in Germany. It's now moved to Amsterdam. And they started it off purely on the lending engine side with a focus on actually micro lending and microservices, right? And so they did that in a lot of emerging markets, and then found as it evolved, they expanded over to the deposit side as well, started to sign some big customers like an Oak North Bank was an initial big win for them in the European markets. And so we grew gradually over the last 11 years. We now have 250 customers around the world in 65 markets around the world. Roughly half of them are now in EMEA, and then we went to LATAM, APAC, and then 3 years ago we entered the North American market.
So what brings you to Fintech South?
A great environment, a great chance to get the Mambu brand out there, but most importantly to meet partners, ecosystem partners, different system integrators, and potential buyers.
And if somebody wants to learn more about Mambu, what's the coordinates? Website?
Yeah, just go to mambu.com. There's tons of information on our website, or reach out to me, Ted Westhelle.
And it's Mambu?
Mambu, correct.
Well, Ted, thank you so much for sharing your story today.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
All right, this is Lee Kantor. We'll be back in a few at Fintech South.
This episode has been brought to you by Atlanta Blockchain Center, the catalyst for Atlanta's emergence as the premier blockchain innovation hub globally, through cultivating entrepreneurship, inclusivity, and education. To learn more, go to atlblockchaincenter.com.